Hi, Merna here, and I've been chatting to a few of my friends recently and who are working from home, and they're struggling as well. So I thought I'd put together a quick guide or tips for case management from home, since I have worked from home in my own business for a while. So here's my thoughts on it. Let's talk about the benefits of working from home. It can be relaxing, and there are a lot of studies that have been done that you can be more productive from working from home. Though I do acknowledge that for some people it can also be just as stressful. Let's talk about some things. It's there, you save money, you're saving money on parking and on those coffees and takeaway lunches and on petrol to get to work. Then you're more productive because you're accountable and you're working to your own schedule, and you've probably got less distractions, so you can be focused. And of course then there's all those personal benefits. You can dress comfy, at least from the bottom down anyway, in case you're doing Zoom calls. You're in charge of the aircon, also in charge of the music that's played, and the thing that is a great benefit is that you don't have to clean up after anyone else. If there's a mess, it was most likely yours. And finally, you don't have to stress about getting wet if it's raining, getting to and from the car park. And the big one at the moment is you won't pick up anyone else's germs. But there are struggles. And for a lot of us, the benefits can be the struggles. But the big one is that there's no face-to-face connection. Yes, we have Skype and Zoom and FaceTime and any number of free conference calling facilities, but there's nothing like that face-to-face in the room chat. Another struggle can be staying focused. Like while you're there, you might have other things going on around you that you want to sort of be curious about, or you might be thinking about, what do I need to take out for dinner tonight? I've got to throw that load of washing in. Some things like that. It can be tricky to stay with the mind on the job. The hours are long because it's so accessible and easy to get to work. You may be tempted to do a little bit more than you need to, or to do things when you aren't at work. The struggle is missing those takeaway cappuccinos and lunch treats. That's real. I acknowledge that we like our coffees. We may have some more spare time and wonder what to do to fill that, because we're not doing that commute anymore to our client appointments. So how do you fill that time in? Then the other struggle that I have to deal with all the time is that there's never any water in the kettle, and that's my fault. I can't be blaming anyone else. I can't leave my office desk in that organised chaos that sometimes I use it in. I have to be a little bit more conscious of those things. And I don't have access sometimes to the server to documents that I need. But there's always workarounds for everything. The big thing is that there's no one to bounce ideas off of or to have a quick debrief with if something is really irking you. I get a bit frustrated when I've scheduled a call and people aren't answering their phones or replying to my messages. It throws my whole schedule out. And keeping to that routine can be a struggle because, like, if something's not working for you, it's easy to go off and do something else. I find working with others in the house a little bit distracting, and that is one of my struggles as well. So how do you do it? How are you going to stay focused on the job and manage your day? Is to look at and work out, what does working from home mean for you? How do you want it to look? When I think of working from home, I sort of think of having flexibility in when I do things and what gets done. But I realize in this a role, it's 8:30 to 4:30, so it's about how do I make the most of that day. So I'm looking at, when are you the most productive? Are you a morning person or an afternoon person? And work, when you are the most productive. That's when you schedule in all those things that you need to do, and be super productive in those times, and relax in the times that you can't, or that you're not feeling productive or alert. I am at my best first thing in the morning, and by 2 o'clock I'm dead in the water. So for me, it's best if I get those difficult, painful tasks done first thing rather than putting them off. That's when I can concentrate the best first thing. So then by 2 o'clock, I can just sort of start doing those things that I can do on autopilot and I don't have to think so much about. So jump into your challenges first thing. Getting a project started is also a good thing to do when you're your most productive. You don't have to actually complete the whole thing, but if you just get it going, then gradually throughout the day you can work on it. Otherwise, if you're still that sluggishness, might wear away your motivation throughout the day. The next tip is work out your case management style. So, how do you communicate what you want done? How are you working with your clients? Because now that we aren't actually face to face with them, it might require us to extend ourselves and perhaps use different styles and methods. I believe that we all have a mixture of different styles, but it's good to, then there's no right or wrong style, but it's good to work out how you want to interact with your clients. There's 9 different management types of styles that I've come up with that I believe are useful when it comes to doing case management. So they're the different styles. So what's your main case management style, and will it work well for you from the in-home phone setting? The next thing I would suggest is schedule your day. Work out what you want to do and when you want to do it, and stick to that routine. Create that routine so that you'll always feel productive by the end of the day. Block in the times for stretches and breaks and colleague check-ins and lunch and everything, so that and set alarms. The big tip I have for you there is, since you're your own personal manager, you have to have ways of doing that. Break up your day and set an alarm, just a reminder on your phone that goes off to make sure that you're in the zone, or you're doing what you're doing, or to remind you to stop and get up and stretch, And in those 5-minute breaks, get up and go, move around, go throw a load of washing on, or hang the clothes out, or, just do something. Otherwise, you're going to lose focus and you'll burn out throughout the day. It's called self-care. Work out what works for you. So there's a tip: set those alarms. It's a great way to check in on whether or not you're getting things done. Another option is to do block times. So you'll do all your calls between, for 2 hours, just get them all done. Then check your emails at another time, and then do another thing at another time, so that you've got block times rather than jumping from one task to another. And that's sometimes a way to be more productive. But again, have those timers set to remind you to stop and smell the roses. And sometimes it's good to overcommit to what you want to do, like schedule in more than you think you'll get done. And that's okay if you don't get it done, but it just keeps you on target and accountable and honest, I guess, so that you know that I can't just stop and sit here. I said I'd do these things. So work out what your day looks like and allow more time for things as well. It's hard to find things to help you reach that level of busyness when you're at home, so your motivation can just sort of swing easily. So it's good to have a plan and work out that plan ahead of time. So today you're working out what you're doing tomorrow, so that you know when you come to your desk that that's the things that you have to do. It's pretty much the same, I suppose, as working from the office, but you just have to get that structure happening. And if you've got that list written the day before, then it's not just written and you're not tempted to readjust or change it. It's like, all right, this is what I've set, this is what I have to do, and commit to that. Otherwise, you'll just think, oh no, I don't want to do that, I'll put that off until tomorrow. So solidify your schedule the day before. The next thing to do is communicate. Check in with your colleagues. Let them know you're present and available if they need you, and also for your own mental health as well. Let others who are at home with you, we talked about this the other day, know what you're doing and when, so as they can work in with you as well. It's good to interact with others as well as in the house. If you're fortunate to have someone in the house, make sure you have breaks with them during the day for that human contact. But if you need peace and quiet, let them know. If you're home alone, that's the times when you can go and make sure you connect with others that are around. Also, when you're communicating, listen for tone and inflection, even in their emails or in the tone of their voice, as you would do with your clients. But you can often pick up if someone's a little bit down or a little bit angry or something's going on for them. Last tip is prepare your lunch the night before. It can be tempting to spend too much time making yummy lunches, and you'll end up spending all your time making your lunch during your meal break, but then you don't have time to eat it, or you'll end up sitting at your desk and eating it. So it's good to just have it made so that you can actually go and have that break and sit and relax and just zone out for a bit. And stick to your usual, that's a routine you'd have if you were working in an office. You'd make your lunch the night before. So know that nothing's set in stone though, and just because you have it set and predetermined, it's okay and important for you to be flexible as well, and know that things can be get pushed out. So if you're on a phone call and you've scheduled it for an hour, but it seems like you need to talk longer, be flexible so that you can have that longer time with people. So just hold true to what's important to you. If that connecting with people is important, then you can work on that for even better. So they're my tips for working from home. I hope you found them enjoyable or useful. If you want to talk some more about them or give me other ideas, happy to chat to you.